Jim Parquet here with VPX Baseball, and today we're going to start lesson 2 of how to throw proper long toss, right? So I'm going to work you through the whole progression here. We're going to get out to maybe about 150, maybe almost up to 200, and we're going to just work that, right? So that way you kind of understand what you're trying to accomplish. Check out our other videos on this course to help you understand the components to what we're talking about, okay? So bottom line is I'm going to just kind of get a little blood flow. I've already done that, and I've got Sean down here, and we're just going to start to work, okay? So it's really important that you get all of your motor patterning set, even though you might have it in you. The problem is it's not built in for that day, right? And so we want to work that. Don't start out by just hucking and chucking, okay? What we want to do is be slow and let your body adapt. And so I'm just going to, first of all, get some blood flow, right? Nice and easy, okay? And I'm going to work on my arm stroke, getting it down and then going, okay? Very important that you create length, down and then go, okay? The second one is making sure when you come down that you stay here and you create a plane of work. Don't come down and bounce. The more bouncing you have with your front side, the more the less efficient you are with your delivery and as we move out, right? So you watch my front side, it stays quiet. I'm gonna go down and then go, right? So here we go. Down, go, okay? Try to keep it as quiet as possible. The second aspect that you're trying to motor pattern into this is basically creating good shoulder to hip separation, right? Making sure you stay close and you've got a good rotation to create and increase elastic energy and torque within your lower half and upper half transfer of the energy, okay? So how we do that is just making sure that we over-rotate. But we're not going to over-rotate like this. If I'm going to throw here, we're not going to go this way and over-rotate. We're going to keep our foot like we would on a rubber, but we're going to over-rotate, so now I'm here with my hips, but my back foot is still able to drive straight. We don't want to be this way, right? So if I move back to where I'm this way and then trying to go, keep your back foot parallel or perpendicular to the mound, and then you over-rotate your hips, right? So you can see kind of how I'm at. That way I can come out like this and have good hip to shoulder separation. So it'll look like this, slow motion. I'm going to be here, I'm going to rotate, and then go, okay? You might at first start to see yourself going this way, but try to stay as linear as possible, which would be like this. Here's now my hips pointing this way, but my back foot is perpendicular to home. And then I'm going to try to go straight and create a good power T. As you can see, my back foot to front foot here, having that good power T, right? Okay? So again, I'm going to do this, down, go. Okay? Now, want to avoid getting around while I'm doing this, right? We create this action. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is stay straight. So I always tell everybody, even though you don't pitch like this, right? Your shoulders should work 12 to 6, not out and around. And then as you move back, you'll probably be a little different in that. But really try to enunciate the 12 to 6 here. Down, 12 to 6, right? So here we go, 12 to 6, okay? That gives you good plane separation, right? And I'm feeling that motor patterning work into me, right? 12 to 6. You can start like this, but when you're coming out at them, you want to go 12 to 6. So again here, right? 12 to 6. And one more like that, 12 to 6. 12 to 6. Now if I get around, you'll see how the plane and my ability to create extension will lower quite a bit, right? I'm going to get around here. Okay? And you can see this sweeping motion. Okay? Again, around it. Compared to 12 to 6. Alright? And then the last portion of your motor pattern is to be your lower half drive. Making sure that you continue through and syncing your arm action with the front foot strike. Your arm should be on the way up when you land. If you're already here and you land, that necessarily is not going to be good, right? The other thing too is releasing too early, like this, right? To where I'm about to release and I haven't landed. Should be this action here, not that action. That's too early, so keep the arm down longer. And I'm going to work the sync of how my arm stroke correlates and the timing of my arm stroke with my front heel strike, right? So my front heel strike should go, and then I will release. So it should look like this. Okay? Again, watch again. I'm going to go down, land, and then throw. Watch. Down. Okay? So I'm exaggerating it for you so you can kind of see that, but if we put it in flash motion, it'll look like that. One more time, fast motion. And here's if you did it wrong, where it comes up too early. You feel yourself almost throwing like a football pass, right? It'll come up too early. We don't want that because then your arm kind of lingers. You want to have a fluid delivery here, which would be this. Okay? So you work that, you work all the way back as you move through, right? And what I suggest, now we'll move the camera back. And what I suggest is to kind of build an actual game plan and schedule of how you're throwing, okay? So we're gonna go to about right here. Sean, I'll keep you in there for this one, okay? And in this now, we're about 115 feet. I want you to start to crow hop as you move back from like that 60 where we were before, and then crow hop. But don't crow hop and huck and chuck, right? We gotta work into it. So we're gonna crow hop and really work this action. Down, throw, okay? Want to make sure that we work those three components. This action, stay in linear with our shoulders, and then making sure we land first before we go, right? So again, we're going to go down, okay, and keep it down. Second one we're going to do is 12-6 with the shoulders. Again, 12-6 with the shoulders. And then the last one is making sure the sync, right? Timing sync. Arm stroke and front foot are synced up properly. Land, throw. Okay? You build that out. I'd go about 2 minutes to 3 minutes on, 1 minute off. 3 minutes on, 1 minute off. Right, so you start at 60, go to 100, go to 115, and now we're going to move on back to almost 200, about 175, right? And maybe you go to 150, which is going to be about right here, okay? It's about 150, 175, and we just worked our way back, right? Incrementally working your way back, okay? One of the things you got to really focus on when you start to move back is that the ball starts to go this way, or how you have command issues, or it doesn't feel like that sweet spot where it just feels like it's a crisp boom coming out of your hand, and that's usually with your lower half having issues on the sync, okay? So the important aspect here, we're gonna move the camera over just a little, right about there. The important aspect on this, when you're throwing long toss, is to have a decent arc on it, okay? Don't be straight, have a little arc, so that way you're creating extension, okay? And you're unlocking your scap and your braking system, okay? The second thing that we're also gonna focus on is making sure that we are chest out, right? If I'm throwing here, I'm gonna be chest out. We want this action, not this action. This action leaves you back here, then the ball floats. This action keeps you accelerated and powered and use your back hip, your lower half to drive and then support the arm all the way through. So I'm not warmed all the way to this, so I'm going to just kind of take you through it, right? We're just going to get in here. Okay? So don't worry about the ball not getting there in the beginning. Just important to get extension. Okay? Now as you can see, the ball is tailing. We don't want that. What we want is to ensure that the ball stays straight. And I do that by staying closed longer, right? So I'm gonna stay closed longer here. You can see the ball goes straight, right? So I'm again, stay closed longer here. Right? And as I get used to this distance here, I'm gonna heat it up some more, and I'm gonna build a little more lower half drive, right? So I'm not gonna get the ball there by doing this, by being quick on my upper half or quick on my upper half. I'm gonna get it there by pushing more and creating more of this action right here, rather than this action. This right here just uses the upper half and pulls the ball through, you'll see that. This action here, right, gets the ball there with the big muscles, which is how you pitch. So I'm gonna start heating up here. Okay? Now as you can see, the ball is tailing a little and it's dying somewhat. So I have to have more and longer of the lower half. So again, here we go. There it is, right? That's a perfect throw. I just want to stick with that all day, right here. Just like that, okay? I felt myself get there too much. So again, get the hips underneath you more and the ball will stay truer, okay? The more I can keep my hips underneath me into release, the truer the ball goes and the more velocity and the less braking and the later the braking is of your scap, which is very important. We want to make it as late as possible. So as long as I've got support underneath my shoulder, your scap will stay relaxed. But as soon as your body feels you get out front too much and the support is leaving, right, more like this, then the scap engages and pulls or decelerates the arm. So the more I can accelerate and stay supported, the more the arm frees up and explodes. The less, like this, or like this, right? Then the scap takes over to decelerate, and that's where we have drops in velocity. So this is what it'll look like if it's wrong. You can see the ball just dies. I'm not trying to do that, it's just dying, right? And I have to airmail it. I'm basically like this, and I'm pulling my arm through, which is incorrect. This would be correct, getting this action, which is what we want. Right? Again, staying supported later or down slope or down throw is very important. Okay? Now that ball died, I just kind of exaggerated it for you. One more time here. That way it's straight. Now, I'm heating up more, and I'm going to start to go into a little more power long toss as you feel comfortable, right? And you can kind of adjust this to where maybe Monday you're doing just nice and easy. Wednesday you're going power long toss, right? So don't do power long toss too long or too often because it takes a lot of toll on your arm, and recovery is very important for us pitchers, right? So if I'm going to get into more of a power throwing long toss, I'm going to go straight, okay? You want to get out to about maybe 150, and then as we move through this, I'll show you get out even further, okay? So you should have it straight, and to get the ball there, it's not this, okay? It's this action. That's how you do it, right there, okay? Get the back hip engaged all the way through. Okay? So that would be pretty straight, nice and easy. Ball tailed at the end, but at the end of the day, felt pretty good. So I'm gonna be more chest out here. Right there, okay? You can see it's going straight, okay? Now, if I really want to get up on it and go the extreme, maybe the last 10 to 15 throws, to get that full extension, right? You're gonna go straight, but bounce the ball. You're gonna skip a one hopper to him, so they'll look like this. Just like that. And therefore what it's doing is it's causing me to have to get out further and pull the baseball down, which again, we know is more indicative to pitching, right? So again, here's a real power throw. Launched it because I was like this, right? But you get the idea, it's nice and straight, and then we're gonna get a good pull down. Just like that, okay? So, ultimately speaking, the ideas behind long toss are not to let the ball do this. It needs to go straight. Second one is good plane and angle. Good plane and angle, okay? Third aspect, making sure we don't pull. We can keep support down slope, down throw, or later. That way your scap remains loose, unloaded, and you can use your arm a lot better. As soon as we pull off, as soon as your body feels that support is leaving your shoulder, it will engage your scap and cuff muscles to decel, right? So how do we improve upon that? Obviously this action, making sure we're chest out, we're staying linear, good shoulder to hip separation right here while we go, 12 to 6, and then just making sure that our arm has length down and we don't quarterback it right here, right? We keep it down as long as possible, land and then go. You're not necessarily gonna actually land and then throw, but the idea is to feel that, right? So if you put it all together, it should look like this. Right there on the hard throw all the way down. And then if you just want to play some good long toss, have a little arc in it. Be right there, okay? Hopefully you like this video. Check out our other ones in this course, and we got a full line of products to get you to the big leagues.